I'm the Cringe Critic. I read it so you don't have to. Welcome back to Cringe Critic Reads. Today we're going to be continuing Frisky characters. Got my alcohol and my water bottle. Oh yeah. Let's get underway. Chapter 3. Gallflower Falls. Frisk woke up at 8:37 a.m., which is usually considered late for her. She realizes that Charles is not in bed with her. She got dressed and decided to go look for her. It didn't take long for her to realize that Char exhausted herself overnight. Oh, goddamn. Char is knocked out on the couch, half naked. Of course she is. She did good by herself last night, didn't she? My God, Char, I may as well get started with making breakfast. I really scared Frisk said. Upon entering the kitchen, she becomes nauseous and begins having a horrible flashback. A memory from a genocide route. The first time she entered Tourette. We're gonna say it. Okay, then. I'm gonna have to find it backwards. Right. There. Just gonna say Terrell's. Terrell's home. I'm just gonna call it Terrell because I know what that is. You know who Terrell is, so we can be friends. Terrell's home was when she murdered. God damn it. The first time she entered Terrell's home was when she murdered every frogget and every whimsum, and even something that wasn't even living was destroyed at her own hands. Holding a knife in hand. She knew she was playing the part of the fool, but at the time, she was only testing a theory of hers. Back in reality, she made a blood-curdling scream that woke Char up. Frisk! She calls over into the kitchen. Frisk, what's wrong? She enters the kitchen to hear Frisk saying the words, I'm sorry, over and over again, crying. Char didn't know what was going on, but she comforted Frisk, telling her that it was just a bad dream and that it would be over. Hearing this, Frisk stopped repeating the two words, but kept on crying while hugging Char. It took 10 minutes until Frisk would pass out from crying, and Char laid Frisk on the couch to rest. Before making breakfast for Frisk and herself, Char went upstairs and got a shirt on. Wearing her usual green and yellow stripes for her shirt and brown shorts, she goes back down to begin making hot cakes and scrambled eggs, just like how Frisk likes her breakfasts. I'm going to let that slide. It takes about 20 minutes to make for Frisk and herself. Exiting the kitchen with two trays, one for Frisk and one for herself, she sees Frisk awake and looking outside as if in a trance. There was nothing there, making Char avoid the flashback did major mental damage on Frisk. Frisk, I made you breakfast, and I was wondering if you wanted to, go to Gallflower Falls. Char asks, snapping out of her trance. Frisk looks at Char and agrees to go. She was curious as to what the occasion was for, but Char kept quiet, letting Frisk know it was a secret. The two girls eat the breakfast normally, as if they had all day. Excuse me. Once leaving the house, they took a shortcut, not one of Stan's shortcuts, through the woods and into a beautiful spring with a waterfall coming from the top. Wow, Char, I didn't know you knew about this place. It is kind of hidden, Frisk said. Frisk says, still seeming glum. So what is... When Frisk looks down... God damn it. When Frisk looks back at Char, Char is on one knee, holding up a ring in her hand. Char looks very nervous, blushing and hoping for one thing. Her face lit up with excitement, and as if without hesitation, Frisk kissed Char as if it were a way of saying yes. I've been saving up for a couple years. I'm really happy you said yes, Char said, crying with joy and having a smile on her face, but that smile faded away in an instant when some girls came along. Before you call me woman or lady, the name is Nikki, and you're going to pay for what your girlfriend did to me yesterday. Caroline Hannah restrained the girlfriend. Nikki said that's actually kind of funny. Give it a shot, because that made me laugh. Probably wasn't the intention, but it still made me laugh. I almost knew this would happen. Char, stand back. Frisk was being cautious, so much so she even brought out a knife. Don't leave the house without mine. Sure, get my fucking pocket. Get back on there, thank you. Borrow a knife. Both Caroline and Hannah were scared with the appearance of a deadly weapon. As I said, Nikki, do not hurt my Char, because we're not getting hurt on the special day. She will be my wife, and you, well, Sans has said it to me and Char on many genocide ones, but You're gonna have a mad time if you take one more goddamn step. With Nikki, Caroline, and Hannah now scared, they'd run off, but at what cost was a question. With Char concerned, she sees a black screen pop up in front of Frisk. Peeling over, she is relieved to see that Frisk's LV did not become two. I'm sorry for making you worry, Char. Also, I want them gone so we can actually bathe in the waters. Frisk immediately strips down. Here we go. 5 minutes and 33 seconds in. I was hoping it'd take longer than that. Frisk immediately strips down, surprising Char heavily. She didn't know what to expect since Frisk is not this daring. What are you waiting for, Char? Come on, the water's nice and warm. What? Frisk? I can read that again. What? Huh? Frisk? Char exclaimed. She was so flushed that Frisk had to come out of the water and strip Char herself. Frisk! What has gotten into you? Yes, Frisk, what has gotten into you? Frisk pulled Char into the water, all wet now. The two became slippery, so even if Char tried to hold on to Frisk, she would still fall over. No longer patient, Frisk goes for the kiss. Caught by surprise, Char couldn't react but accept. Char slowly felt fingers creeping down her body. Come on! We're only 6 minutes and 27 seconds in. For fuck's sake, we don't need to get to the fucking this early. Char slowly felt fingers creeping down her body near her nether region. She didn't want Frisk to stop, so she kept on kissing. Kissing him, I said kissing, what the fuck ever, it's my damn show. Frisk's fingers easily slipped into Chara, and she enjoyed it. I'm glad somebody's enjoying this, because I'm sure as hell not. Frisk pushed Chara up against a rock and began to suck on Chara's breasts hard. Chara was feeling everything so tantalizing, making her want to orgasm immediately, but she refused. She wanted Frisk to have her way with Chara. Poor grammar. Should have been she wanted Frisk to have her way with her. God damn it. It took Chara a while to realize that she'd begun to actually lactate. Here we go. And that Frisk wasn't bothered by it. I am. Because I don't want to read this shit anymore. But I have to for you people. Because if I don't, no one will. I gotta take another shot. She gladly swallowed Char's milk like it was meant just for her. And at that point, Char came. God, fuck. Oh, God. Chara being exhausted, Frisk drooled out some remaining milk she had into Char's mouth. Thank you for the meal, Char. It tasted delicious. Son of a bitch! Really glad the author knows that this is shit. I'm keeping it a secret, but me and him did discuss this last night, and I'm really glad he knows that this is terrible. And it's stupid. So, to you, cheers. Now back to our regularly scheduled hell. Chara being I said that already. It's alright. Chara began fading out. She had never felt that feeling before. She was still happy Frisk accepted her. Both girls stayed in the pond, but behind the waterfall so no one would see. The two decide to Fred syndrome comes out once in a while. The two decide to rest for the meantime until they needed to head back. They both cuddled with each other, still slippery, so it's kind of hard to stay still. Chara, my dear, Frisk called out. Yeah, what is it? Chara replied. What would you do if I played with your body again? Oh, stop, Frisk. I know you're tired too. Just save up the energy for the trip back, hon. Thank you. With both girls feeling satisfied from their lustful state, the two are filled with determination, happiness, and love. Chapter 4, New Save. Thank God, the last chapter of the day. After chapter I don't know if I said it already, but I'm going to say it again because I forgot. Chapter 4, New Save. After resting behind the waterfall, Char and Frisk got dressed and began to head back home. Upon entering the cottage, they saw something that had not appeared in 10 years. A save point. It's spelled in all capitalism. Like I keep saying, I'm gonna read it how it's spelled. I'm gonna read it how it's written. Right, getting drunk. A save point. Wanting to cherish this moment and to never forget it, they saved. After they saved, Char decided to pass on the couch while Frisk just went to get a new change of clothes. She didn't know how she should be after Char proposed to her. She felt nothing but happiness. While getting the ingredients ready for dinner, Frisk receives a phone call from Terrell. Still calling her Terrell, or I don't know if it's a he or she, but I don't care. Hello, my child. How is your time in the village? And how is Char doing? Is she fine? She asks. It has been I do a pretty damn good job of doing an impersonation of Pastor Jeremiah. It has been a couple years since Frisk and Tori. Oh, it's fucking Tori. I'm just gonna call it Tori. It'll be easier on me instead of Terrell. It has been a couple years since Frisk and Tori have spoken to each other. Okay, it's just been a while since we two have spoken. Ever since Asgore, Tori, I would love not to talk about that. Char does still have nightmares about him being murdered. I hate hearing his name after we heard the Anti-Monster Association killed him. Anyway, Char are doing fine. She passed down the couch. I'm making her some dinner right now. There are some people who remember her, but I have made sure they are not going to touch her. Frisk knew that she would not be able to help her one day, but she stays positive. Okay, my child. Tell Chara that I miss her. By the way, do you still have the recipe for the many kinds of pies? Yes, Tori, I do. I will make a cinnamon butterscotch chocolate pie soon. I have to go now. Okay then, my child. Hope you have safe travels. Okay. Oh no, it's. Goddamn. Okay. There should know I'm reading. Frisk hung up the phone and began copying the recipe for the steak in the shape of Metaton's face. Don't ask. I'm not gonna. Don't ask. Don't know. Don't care. She knew tonight was Metaton's debut on live television, so she decided to make this for the special occasion. Char came to the kitchen but was still drowsy. Frisk guided Char back to the living room and asked for her to wait. Excuse me. Frisk, is it okay if I ask you a question? I am really curious. Char asks. Sure, go ahead. Must be something important. If they did attack, would you have killed them? Because you know I don't want... Frisk cuts Char off by kissing her, making sure she doesn't have an anxiety attack. Just let me finish dinner, Chara. It's also best not to worry about that. You can get a head start on Beauty versus Gentle Beauty Showdown. Frisk walks off to finish making the steak. But upon re-entering, the steak is gone? Hey kid, you forgot an ingredient. It's called parsley. No worries, but I got you some and added it on. Stan said out of nowhere. I heard about the incident about you eating those girls and Frisk having an eye for taking in some beauty. Well, you're just asking for a bad time, aren't you? Sans, if it is protect Char, he gave you the steaks back and eat you, Char. Sure, kid. Also, nice rap. Sans freezes after noticing. Wait, is that seriously what she had? Wait, is that seriously what you meant by having something planned? Well, either way, congrats, kiddo. Anyway, I'm out. Sans uses a shortcut to leave. Frisk finished cooking the steak and went out to serve it to Chara. The show has begun, but not much was missed. On the beauty side, there were 3 females, one looking to persevere, one with a lot of bravery, and one who seems patient. On the gentle beauty side, one looked to show justice to others, one seemed to be filled with integrity, and the last one seemed to be kind. Were they specifically picked due to their traits? Is that what the two girls act themselves? After an hour, the beauties won due to how the teamwork was. Chara and Frisk finished eating the Metaton face steak and decided to head off to bed, but it wasn't for sleeping since Chara wanted to control Frisk this time. God damn it! It strikes her odd how the two kept trading off control over the other. It strikes her odd how the two keep trading off on control over the other. I'm just gonna take... My brain says that's a fuck up, so I'm just gonna say it's a fuck up. Yet it doesn't matter now. Chara needed to find a way to bind Frisk so she couldn't move. Here we go. The only items she had were handcuffs, two of them being the only binding item. She cuffs Frisk's legs and arms together. Chara, what are you doing? Frisk asked sleepily. She apparently didn't seem to notice what was going on. Now, Frisk, you may be tired, but after this, I'm sure you'll pass out. Chara stops talking as she begins to look Frisk down under. Frisk was in for a long night. Chara's determined Frisk would be in heat. Sorry for the short chapter. Thank God for the short chapter. That's a bit fucking rapey. That is the end of the chapter. Thank you, God, which means it's the end of the episode. Which means, doubly means, the next episode is the end of Frisky characters. Thank you, Jesus, thank you. Well, with that being said, I've been the Cringe Critic. I read it so you don't have to.